All right, let's talk about work visas in the United States. So today we are going to talk about work visas in the United States. So thank you everyone for joining. While we are waiting for a couple more people, hi guys on TikTok, I see you. I also see everyone else on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So give us a couple more seconds. Plus, I had a resource that I wanted to share with everyone since today we are going to talk about work visas in the United States, right? So give me just one more second. And in the meantime, we are going to answer your questions. If you guys have questions, just put them there in the chat. I'll be right with you. I know you do have questions. You guys are always awesome. And I'll be right there. Just one sec. I wanted to get this resource to share with you. But alas, if I cannot find it, then we'll just go without and we'll address it another time. And that's totally okay. So what we wanted to talk about really is US visas to the United States, but specifically work visas. What needs to happen and how do you get, what type of different work visas are available for those who are either still inside the United States in a valid status or outside the United States who want to come to the United States with a work visa. Okay, so generally speaking, let's just talk about that. If you are already in the United, oh, my stream just ended over there. So let's see how we can restore that. So for those, while that is loading, let's see if we can go over this. So I am immigration attorney Connie Kaplan. We are a law firm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. So I see that Bappy already had some questions. I'll get to you in just one second, okay? Make sure you guys put your questions there, and I will be more than happy to address them, assuming we have time, and we always do because I allow for that. We are going to be here for about 30 minutes or so. And I wanted to make sure that we have the options, okay, that we talked about, all right? So immigration attorney Connie Kaplan, we help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. We are going to address first one question since it's already here. So thank you for that. And then I'll address the work visas. You are here on removal proceedings. Also, you got the SIJ order granted. Should I terminate my asylum? That is a very, very serious consequence if you do that. And I understand that your asylum application was denied and then you were referred to the immigration judge. So you are in removal proceedings because your asylum case was referred to the immigration judge. You should not listen to me or anyone on social media that will tell you what you should be doing without having the full copy of your file and looking at the timeline. Timeline in immigration, it is critical. I cannot tell you to terminate your asylum until I know the full timeline of your case. If you don't terminate, you might not be able to get the permanent residency. If you do terminate, but you terminate it too soon, you might not have a chance to to get it reopened again if something goes wrong with your SIJ. And just because your SIJ order was granted, I need to know which part of that was granted. Was it granted just in a family court? Did you apply for SIJ? Was the initial SIJ approved? Did you apply for the green card? What exactly is where you are in the process? And I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Just give us a call. By the way, my team is available. Give us a call, 954-466-0070. The number is also on my profile. You can find it there. So let's do that, okay? Seriously, it's too critical for you to take advice from anyone on social media, including myself, because we do not have all the facts. All right, good. Any info on when they will resume DNA testing in Egypt? No, I do not have information on that. Oh, hi from Israel. Yes, DNA testing for CRBA in Egypt. Most countries have been processing the CRBA, okay, the entire time. And if they are not doing it in your particular country, then I'm trying to address the DNA testing, okay? If they are not doing it, then it's something local in your country, because most other countries are processing. So I do not have additional information, particularly for Egypt, okay? All right, good. So the topic for today, since I can't seem to get back on YouTube, Facebook, or Insta, we are just going to talk to you guys on TikTok. You guys are special today, all right? So let's talk about work visas to the United States. You're welcome, Jacob. I'm sorry I can't give you more information. So, work visas. If you are in the United States or you are trying to come to the United States with your visa, you're wondering what are your options. So those are temporary options and permanent options. So let's talk first about temporary options to come to the United States, okay? And I'll get to that list, but first I'm going to tell Michael when the tourist visa process will resume. It depends on each country. It depends on the consular operations in the particular country, depends on how short-staffed they are. It depends on what the COVID situation is at the particular consular post and what the backlog is. Most countries are still not processing any tourist visas at all, okay? You stopped your F1 status after being married to a U.S. citizen. Would there be any problem? Yes. You might have a problem of violating your status. It depends on the timeline. So give us a call and let's discuss that in detail. It's not the issue that you married the U.S. citizen. It's the timeline under which you did it and where exactly in the F1 process you did it. Beginning of the plan, end of the beginning of the course of studies, after the course of study. Okay, so don't take that lightly. And it depends, okay? It really depends. Give us a call. We would need to get a lot more information before I can tell you, would it affect you or it wouldn't affect you, okay? Great. So work visas, temporary and permanent. Today we're going to talk about temporary ways to get, wow, how appropriate. How nice. So right now we are going to talk about, 1 second, there you go, done. All right, temporary visas. TN visas for workers. TN visa stands for Treaty NAFTA. That means it's available only for Canadians and Mexicans. So if you are a Canadian citizen or a Mexican citizen, this is an amazing option for you. It is specifically for either management consultants or certain qualified workers, and your actual profession and experience needs to match the specific list that they have by country. The process is different depending on whether you are from Mexico or you are from Canada. But then you have the H-1B work visas. The H-1B work visas are given for about 6 years at a time, but you have to be entering first into a lottery. You have to be selected in the lottery, and then you get to actually have the government look at your application. There are certain H-1Bs that are not subject to the cap, which means they don't go into the lottery, and that is not subject to the numerical limits. And those are separate and specifically for those who have master's degrees or above. So then, all right, awesome. Then we have H-2B visas. H-2B visas are temporary in nature, and they are available for temporary agriculture workers or seasonal agriculture workers, okay? So, yeah, those are H-2Bs, H-1Bs. We discussed it. H-1B, especially if it's connected to the cap, you can only apply first week of April. Generally, you start the process a few months ahead of time, and then you pray that you are going to be selected. But there are other options, right? If you are looking into expanding your business into the United States, that is an L1 visa. L1 visa is different. It requires that you have a business outside the United States, or your employer has a business outside the United States, and you worked for them for at least 1 year out of the last 3. And then you are going to be able to perhaps work for the affiliate or subsidiary in the United States. Then we have the J1, that's a cultural exchange visa. So before I go into the other ones, the J1 for the cultural exchange, what's the website for US Lottery for Ghana? It doesn't matter if you're in Ghana or wherever you are, the website is the same for everyone. Right now, it is not open until the government announces it that it will be open. There is no website to apply to. If you find a website that is willing to take your money, for which you shouldn't pay because it is free, then you're not at the official site, so don't waste your money, okay? So you might want to wait until the official government website announces it, and that is travel.state.gov, okay? And we will post it as soon as it is announced. We are hoping there will be one this year. It has been one almost every single year, but we are not sure this time, okay? 01, extraordinary ability visas. So those are for people who are indeed extraordinary, okay? Extraordinary in arts, extraordinary, for example, in modeling, performance arts, and so on. Religious visas are one that requires either for you to be a minister, priest, and so on, or to be a religious worker for the church. Then we have, H2B, I said agricultural workers, that was H2As. Now we have H2Bs. H2Bs are temporary workers. In our area, for example, most of the temporary workers are maids in hotels, cleaning personnel, generally service industry, okay? Then we have H3 visas, who are trainees in special education. We have E3 visas available only for Australians. Then we have P1 visas for athletes and entertainment groups. So those are generally what they are. So when you guys are asking I see that question a lot. What is it? How do I get a work visa to the United States? There are 186 different types of visas to the United States, and the majority of those are work and family related. So when you're asking that question, I cannot answer it for you, neither can anyone else. You really should, if you are serious about coming to the United States, to study in the United States, to work in the United States, to join family in the United States, or find another way without depending on anyone, perhaps through investment, your best option is to book an appointment with an experienced immigration attorney who can really work all those options with you. You might have none, but at least you are knowing it from the right source, okay? It doesn't have to be me. It could be any other experienced immigration lawyer. Look at their Google reviews, look at what their clients are saying about them, and that is how you get it. Nobody on social media will be able to tell you with 100% accuracy, or any accuracy really for that matter, until they are reviewing your education, your experience, your family status, your degrees, and they're reviewing everything with you. Nobody can really answer that question for you as much as we would love to, okay? So before I go into the permanent options, let's see, there are some questions here that I'd like to address. All right, I'm a Swiss citizen and I want to invest in New York. Do I need a visa business? You need an investment visa if you want to invest in New York. And you need to show the immigration officers that your business has the potential for growth. You are doing a substantial investment. The investment is not marginal, meaning it's going to produce more than enough profit than is needed to support you and your family while you are in the United States. And your options depend on the type of visa, the type of investment, the type of business, and so on. So when you are saying investment, you're investing in a business, right? And then we have to look at your goal for investing in New York. Are you investing in real estate? Then it's a lot more complicated. Are you investing in a business that will create jobs for US workers? That is totally different. And of course, the amount of the investment. If you are investing over $1 million in a business that will create 10 full-time jobs, then you can, generally speaking, buy a green card, but it takes a long time. And right now, those are not really being processed. So hopefully that helped you. What you want to do is book a consult and let's chat about that and your options, okay? And since you're talking about New York, just because we are located in Florida doesn't mean we cannot help you. We have clients in 47 states of the United States, and we're working on getting to the 50. And New York is actually our second most popular location. All immigration lawyers in the United States can help you regardless of where you are or where you intend to locate to. All right. I want to come to the US with my family. So we are talking about investment options. So, work options today. We are not talking about family options. Generally speaking, you have to have a US citizen or permanent resident immediate relative petition for you. So that would be a spouse, a child, or a parent. And if we are talking about siblings, then you have to have a sister or a brother petitioning for you. You want to come to the United States with your family. So that tells me you are married and probably have children. And if that is the case, we need to look at your education, your husband's education, your financial situation, so we can determine if you don't have family relatives who can petition for you, do you have investment options and employment options? All right, give us a call. I'm still waiting about your video on K1. I will do one, okay? I-130 is approved, but 485 is taking so long because of court date it's keeping on extending. Correct. So when you're saying you have a 485 pending, generally speaking, the 485 will be denied if you have an immigration court pending. Because depending on the timeline and when it was filed, you may not have been eligible to file the 485 as long as you were already in removal. Now, if you ended up in removal before the 485 was filed, after the 485 was filed, that is a little bit different. So you really need to talk to your immigration attorney who helped you with this, okay? Because something is wrong. In most immigration courts, if you have an I-130 that is approved, you might be able to terminate those proceedings so you can adjust. But again, without knowing more, I can't tell you. Can you make it sooner? Yes, maybe. How can I apply for my kids to study in the USA? You need to find a school that is going to accept foreign students. The students would have to be admitted to the school. The school will issue a form called I-20. And with that form, you can apply for a student visa. Keep in mind that right now, most foreign consulates are not processing student visas. Some are, so it really depends on where you are. And I don't know the top of my head which consulate does and which one doesn't. Which visa should I apply if you want to join the US Army? There is no such visa. How can you be of help if I want to get a visa to USA? How can I be of help? First, you need to have your options to come to the United States. So basically, you need to have, generally speaking, there are 5 options. You need to apply for the green card lottery. You need to find an employer willing to petition and sponsor you. You need to have a relative in the United States who can petition for you. You need to be able to invest. Or if you are already in the United States, which are not, that's a 5th option. So you need to have the option available before we can help you. Now, we can evaluate your options and we can tell you what you qualify for and what you don't, but sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Give us a call and we can help you with that. So we can properly advise you. That's what we do for most of our clients beforehand. And then when they are ready or they have an option available to them, we help you with the process. So for example, if you want to get a student visa in the US, we cannot help you find a school. If you want to get a work visa in the United States, we cannot help you find an employer. You want to get married to someone in the United States, we cannot help you find a wife or a husband. So we are prohibited from those things, okay? What we can do is actually help you with the process. And you really don't want to do it on your own anyway. I'm going to visit Canada. Can I move to USA? Is it possible? Yes, Canadians do it all the time. Sanjay, I addressed your question. How can I apply for job vacancies in the United States? You use Google. That is what all Americans do. That is what everyone else does. There is not one central database that tells you where the jobs are in the United States. It's employer by employer, state by state. If you find it on Google, it exists. My fiance is from USA. If your fiance is from USCIS, I'm from USA, I'm assuming you are saying that your fiance is a US citizen. If she is a US citizen, she can petition you for a fiance visa and you could be here within a year. If she's not a US citizen, she's only a permanent resident, then you guys need to get married and she can petition for you as her spouse. Do I need a COVID certificate or anything from the DCI to apply a green card? I don't know what DCI means. If you are applying for a green card beginning with October 1st, COVID vaccinations are required. Okay? COVID vaccinations are required beginning with October 1st. You will need to be fully vaccinated. That means 1 dose or 2 doses, depending on which vaccine did you take. Before the civil surgeon can certify that you are eligible to get a green card. There are some very limited waivers available for those who for some other reason cannot get the vaccine, but most likely those will be denied. I'm retired Air Force technician. Is there a scope in USA for me? I don't know enough about your field to be able to help you with that. I have fiance already there. I understand, but is she a US citizen or she's not, or a permanent resident, or neither? Because if she does not have any status here, then she cannot do anything for you. Yeah, she's a US citizen. Great. So then you and your fiance give us a call, book a consult, and let's talk about getting started on your fiance visa. If she's a US citizen, theoretically, you should be here within a year and a half max, okay? What's the easy way to get citizenship when you're on asylum in USA? Well, it really depends. Is your asylum pending at the asylum office? Was it referred already to an immigration judge? Where exactly is your asylum case? If your asylum was already approved and you already have permanent residency, you need to be a permanent resident for 5 years before you are eligible to apply for citizenship. Okay. All right, I see an Uber driver question. I do not understand your question, and you placing it 3 or 4 times is not going to make me understand it any easier. Maybe you want to rephrase it, and I'll be happy to address it. Okay, good. So like we discussed for work visas today, okay, we have TN visas for Canadians and Mexicans. We have H-1B workers, H-2B workers, H-2A. Then we have E2, L1s, E1s, and then we have J1, O1s, R1s. I'm not making this up, guys, by the way, okay? These really are some of the most common types of visa, okay? Visas, especially for work-related matters. So please, I need your help. I have granted asylum in 2018. I applied for 85. Until now, no green card. Something is wrong. You would have received your green card by now. If you got your asylum in 2018 and you apply for the 485 a year later, which you have to wait, so you have to apply for that 2019. It depends on where you are located in the country. You should have gotten the green card, or you might have to wait a little bit longer. We can help you figure that out, okay? If you want to book a consult, we can look at your entire file and see what's pending. But since you already did all that, I assume you do have an immigration lawyer you work with. So I suggest you contact them and ask them, okay? It really depends a lot on your particular guys. I've been doing this a very, very long time. There are no two cases that are identical, okay? What may be perfect for you may not be a good option for your twin sister or brother, even though you have identical histories, okay? So there are no two cases that are alike. Nobody can give you a lot of advice based on very limited information. And if you are already working with an immigration lawyer, then you should continue doing that, okay? So briefly, before I move on, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging, we discussed work visas that are temporary in nature. Those same employers may be able to petition for you for a green card. That usually comes later in the process after they know you, like you, and trust you. And at that point, they can petition you for a green card through the employment-based petitions. And those could be EB1 through EB5, going from very exceptional national interest categories to unskilled worker. Obviously, the higher the more education you have and experience, the easier it's going to be versus the unskilled. Okay. I did apply for 485 after 1 year, but until now I did fingerprint, I did everything but nothing. You just have to wait, okay? So hopefully it's all great. And if you want us to take over or look over your case, give us a call. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Visitor visas not being granted anywhere. Sorry, you can't do it right now. If I have a friend in US, can he apply for me? No, they cannot. There is no such thing as having a friend petitioning for you. Willing for, I don't know what that means. My kids are in low class, but I want to apply for USA study. Can the embassy allow me to move with them? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. As long as you can show that the kids are accepted to school, that you can pay for the school, that you can support yourself the entire time that you are going to be here with them, then yes, they can approve your visa and allow you to come with them. Did the citizenship get, if they count from the asylum granted from the day you get the green card? Okay. All right. So my time is up for today because I do have an appointment in a few minutes to help someone else, and I'm looking forward to that. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My pleasure seeing you all here. Thanks for joining me. Again, for those who don't know me, and if you haven't looked at my profile yet, I'm immigration attorney Connie Kaplan. We are helping immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. I have been in your shoes. I am an immigrant to the US myself. So give us a call, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.